So Game of Thrones episode 7 is out. I thought it was a really good episode, some really great moments in it. Particularly, obviously, was the Viserion Ice Dragon bit at the end. I mean, the Dragon Pit meeting. That was really good in all these meetings. You know, Podrick and Podrick and Tyrion, and Cersei again. I mean, obviously, the whole idea of bringing the White to the King's Landing still feels kind of stupid, really. I mean, they could have easily, instead of like working with Cersei, they could easily taken her out much earlier and then not worry about her at all. But then again, they've been making mistakes. So, Tyrion's plans this season are certainly not working, I would say. I mean, they obviously had the one victory where they destroyed the Tarly force, or transporting the gold. But aside from that, Tyrion's plans, he's been outfought every time by his sister and his brother. I mean, this time, Jaime's going to join their side, but Cersei's still going to try to bring the gold company across. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. But perhaps going into like my top 5 moments from this episode, I would say number 5 is probably number 5 would be probably the conclusion of the Arya and Sansa storyline at Winterfell. I mean, it was a pity a little thing that went out of that. I thought some of his best scenes were with Varys back in the early seasons, 1, 2, and 3. And since then, he hasn't exactly been a shining moment. So at least, he got a little bit caught out at the end, which was a nice little fitting end for his character. But, yeah, I'm still not really convinced about Sansa and Arya, really. I mean, I think it was a pretty poor season for those two, because they were just like conspiring. Well, obviously they weren't actually conspiring against each other, but it was just, they just weren't as interesting as anything else, and I just felt, oh my god, why are these characters being so stupid again and again and again? And even like the payoff at, oh yeah, they were trying to play Littlefinger all along, that didn't make up for it. If Bran is going to be so all-seeing, perhaps rather than bothering, mucking around, I'm see some things, but only when it pleases me. Like, come on, Bran, how could you not? If you're saying you know everything, how come you'd be surprised by what Sam told you? Well, anyway, getting back to it, but the execution, nice execution, all that sort of stuff, but still getting the guy getting executed on the word of essentially almost like a prophet seems a bit dodgy, really. I mean, Baelish should have left Winterfell a long time ago and gone back to the Vale and really at least set up for something at some point. Maybe that way he would have survived. Well, never mind. Okay, number 4, I would say, would be, I know it's like the revelation about Jon, that he's actually Targaryen, is pretty obvious for book readers, and for the base of the show essentially said that last year, didn't they? Where they said that he's also a Targaryen. But it was a nice overlay with, Bran and Sam sorting that out, and then obviously Dany and Jon coming together at post the meeting. Obviously, it's the incest thing again, but yeah, that's pretty good. I was a little bit disappointed by the character, the actor they chose for Rhaegar Targaryen, or the makeup they decided for him, because it basically looks exactly the same as the younger, Viserys from the early season. It's probably even the same wig. I always imagined Rhaegar as a far more impressive figure. It just looked a bit like, it's like almost a bit like a damp squid compared to the rest of them. Even Viserys looked better than Rhaegar. After all these things you hear about him, that this is all they look for you for. Okay, fair enough. I mean, there was also the thing about Robert's rebellion was a lie. Well, I'm not sure how that was a lie. I mean, sure, they going off and eloping together, yeah, that was sort of a slight falsehood, but the Mad King did execute 2 members of the Stark family and demanded the heads of Robert Baratheon and Eddard Stark. So, what was that a lie, Bran? Was that a lie? Pretty sure it happened. One got strangled to death, one was burnt to death. Pretty sure the Mad King was still pretty bad. Rob, it wasn't built on lying. If anything, Rhaegar Targaryen was just incredibly stupid by eloping off with another man's woman and not even saying anything. Perhaps if he'd said something, probably you would have robbed Baratheon with a chance at one-on-one combat, and probably that would have been the end of it, most likely. You would have had no Jon or any of the rebellion. You probably would have, well, actually, you probably still would have had a bit of a rebellion, because the Mad King would not be pleased that his heir had just been killed by one of his lords. Right. So number third favourite was like the meeting in the Dragon Pit, because I thought that was really impressive. Get all these characters together. Oh, they're all little connections, like Pod with Tyrion again, and Brienne and the Hound being all snarky with his brother again. Do you think? I think next season there's got to be like a proper fight between, well, Zombie Mountain and the Hound. So looking forward to that one, really. And there's also, I was half expecting that White, when they knocked over the box, to just be like a lump of bones because it like a decomposed because of the warmer climate. But obviously that didn't happen in the end. But yeah, well, obviously, I'd say that number 2 part would probably be the Cersei interactions with Jaime and Tyrion post the meeting, because it made it look as if Tyrion had got the upper hand on Cersei. Well, he bluffed her out, and she'd noticed, she's showing her belly, that she was pregnant. So thinking, oh yeah, Tyrion, he's got a smart for her. Oh yeah, she's thinking about the future. But then, later on, Jaime basically is essentially shown that, she double bluffed him, she's going with the Gold Company, I'm just going to attack them again. But what is the point of that, really? I mean, also, Jaime was saying, no matter what you do, is going to turn out badly for us, because one way or the other, they're going to either fight the dead, the Night's King by themselves, or they got to fight that returning army. Now, I suppose you could say, well, if they defeat the army of the dead, then there'll be one less army, they'll be tired, there'll be less of them again, so you might have a better chance. So you sort of see from that, but perhaps it's better to work together and come to some sort of arrangement post the Battle of the Dead. But she's not thinking about that. She's thinking about must limit all competition in order to gain control of the Seven Kingdoms. But I don't see what. She doesn't have much of an army, and it's quite difficult to really control much of what's left, really. So moving on into the number 1 thing. It had to be the wall being cracked open. I mean, obviously everyone was probably expecting Viserion and the Ice King to come back and hit the wall. And obviously predictions earlier on was like, well, the whole wall would come down, but just a whole crack in the wall is, that's pretty big event. I mean, Beric Dondarrion and Tormund, they look like they're in trouble, but I doubt as if they can be killed off screen like that. So I'm guessing what will happen is next season, probably Beric Dondarrion will probably die. It might be the case that Tormund ends up getting killed and Beric sacrificed himself for him. A bit like in sort of like the books kind of thing, where Beric sacrificed himself for Catelyn, but because I'm still not exactly sure what Beric Dondarrion's role is, considering he probably should have died like 4 seasons ago if you go by the books. So yeah, it's that massive crack. So there's not much there in the north at the moment. There's no Unsullied, no Dothraki, not much northern army to actually stop it. So in case of it, and keep marching. Because I know the Umber's castles are probably one of the closer castles to the wall. So are we going to see them, or hear about them in the first episodes next season? They're going to come crashing into them and smash them up a bit, and you're going to see those little children that were in the early parts, pledging fealty to Jon. Are they going to be part of the Knights? It's like, oh, you pledge fealty to Jon. You didn't get killed by Jon. Oh, but nope, you're being killed by the Night King. Oh, That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yeah. So, right. So that'll do for in terms of the top 5 moments I thought from the finale. So I'll try to do a wrap-up cast in the near future with some extra guests and see what they thought of the overall season, perhaps some predictions for the next season. So thank you for listening. I hope to see you again soon.